Anyway, the big breakthrough, of course, was Where's Captain Kirk? And I read somewhere you wrote it on a bus, is that right?
Well, Soldier Soldier, we had to write for the John Peel session,
Right.
for the Spizz Energy John Peel session,
Right.
and that was Single of the Week. That came out in time for us
So
to do
to get it sequentially, you're right.
the Rough Trade tour.
So
And
you
then
had
after the
6,000 Crazy, Cold City, then Soldier Soldier.
Yeah, and what in between of doing the songs for John Peel, Where's Captain Kirk was written in April, and then we did the tour with the Rough Trade tour with Raincoats and Kleenex in May, and that's where we started playing Where's Captain Kirk, and the audience was just going bonkers, frankly. And so that was obviously going to be the next single. And Soldier Soldier had already been released for that tour, and then we saved Kirk for the film. The first Star Trek film was coming out in December, so we saved Kirk for then. But we were playing it up and down the country and realising how it was going to go as a song, and we tweaked it in the mix, and we put it out in December. And I wrote it after rehearsing. We always used to go for a couple of shandies, literally only a couple of beers back then, and then I'd get the bus home, and the tune that we'd played, Mark had brought to the table, was called Nobody's Who, and it had one line in the chorus which is, oh but it's true, and I had that going around my head in the bus, and I just wrote a whole new load of lyrics, oh but it's true, but I didn't have no pen and paper, so I'd have to sing it over and over in my head, waiting for the bus stop.
You were singing in the bus?
In my head, going, and then the second verse came into my head. Oh, I've got to keep singing it. I'm going to forget it. So I got off the bus, ran home, wrote it down, and the third verse came while I was writing it. So, like you were saying about Spizz, all songs came like that. And then I went back to the rehearsal the following week and said, "Hey, Mark, you know that song? I couldn't understand all the words you wrote and all that, but I've got these other words. See what you think." And Jim on bass, and we played through it, and we all fell about laughing. And then we started playing it on the shows, and it was just, this is it. This is just one of the magic songs that just falls into your lap.
It's always the great test, isn't it? Playing something live, how it goes.
I always prefer to play a song even when it's not quite finished, because you can knock it together live.
Yeah.
You say, hang on, that's better if we did that. And you feel things live, and then you take it back to the studio. See, look, I don't understand how bands write in the studio. I know the Beatles did it and Rolling Stones did it, but I do it the other way around. I like to get it on the stage first and then bring it back into the...
Well, and wasn't that kind of the whole thing about the whole punk movement, which you came out of, that spontaneity?
Well, see, interacting with the audience. You're interacting. They're actually helping you write the song, if anything.
Yeah. And then, of course, it got to #1 in the newly invented independent chart.